The Moonlock podcast is where we discover more about a person's creative journey. If you like the podcast and want to support it, give us a follow on Spotify and tag us on Instagram at The Moonlock Podcast and at Ramona Bisit. Welcome everybody, Ramon here from the Moonlock Podcast, and I am back with another classic. I have with me today the Radio Bay of 96.3 Easy Rock. He is a colleague of mine back in Kidzania and one of my go-to guys when it really comes into video games and gaming. Welcome to the podcast, DJ Nick.
Thanks for having me, Ramon. How are you doing?
Okay naman. Is it weird na ikaw naman yung ini-interview ngayon?
No, actually, napagod na rin na ata ako mag-interview. So, I'd be happy to be interviewed.
Okay. Just for the people who might need an introduction na hindi ko nabanggit. So, can you just tell the audience a little bit more about yourself?
Yeah, of course, I know you because of Kidzania, and I'm sure we missed the place. But even before Kidzania, radio has always been my thing.
Mm-hmm.
I graduated in UP also, not in your campus.
Yeah.
But in Baguio, I studied social anthropology. But then I ended up, working as a radio DJ for some reason, and I'm still loving it. I'm happy and privileged to be a part of, the Manila roster.
Mm-hmm.
So, ayun naman. And so far, yun lang ginagawa ko ngayon. I'm also trying to explore voice over acting, basta makauna ng voice over projects. So that's what I've been doing in, the past months, especially nag-start ng pandemic.
Yeah. I was also about to ask how you are. And so you've been doing VO acting workshops. So naka-enroll ka right now?
I wish I am, but I'm just lucky because I get some projects like may mga auditions ganyan, tas minsan some clients tap me for VO projects and they seem to be okay with it naman. And I feel like the background kasi yung radio experience ko nasanay na rin naman with recording commercials. But then voice acting is really different. It takes a lot of skill para makaland ka talaga ng project with that.
So that's like for, I'm not sure. I see Peachy parang the dub siya. Is that like that gig?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm targeting actually.
Okay.
I would love to. If there would be a chance for me to do that, I would.
Okay.
Kasi sa company kasi namin, 'di ba, there are AM stations and then there are FM stations. I did audition for roles. Alam mo yung radio drama?
Yeah.
Yung talagang bakbakan na radio drama sa AM. Grabe, sabi ko when I did, it was so difficult for me kasi syempre with radio ako parang medyo chill lang naman. And I just love the music and I like talking over the music. Pero hindi with voice acting talaga basagan talaga ng ng vocal cords, and it takes a lot of yung skills mo, you have to hone it kasi acting pa rin siya. If you need to cry, you have to cry. Alam mo yun? It's just the voice captures the emotions so yeah.
Okay. That's a great experience yung sa AM. I know a friend who started sa MOR, yeah. So yung parang tanghali na na program nila. And di ba magsasend in ng letters and then they have to VO. Started really really small and then sobrang naging consistent lang siya with all the gigs plus TVC and stuff.
Yeah, were you able to like land on projects then with voice acting, like voiceover?
No, hindi ako doon na linya. But I tried.
You did, okay.
Mga TVC.
Yeah, kasi maganda boses mo eh. I mean,
talaga
when we were
ba?
in Kidzania, I would always, I mean,
Okay.
parang lagi kong naisip na parang, okay magsalita si Ramon, tapos maganda boses. Alam mo yun? Parang
alam mo,
ko, why? Yeah.
Hindi ako nalagay ever sa radio. That's one of my,
Talaga ba? Sa atin?
Oo. Hindi ako naikot ever sa radio. TV, oo. Yun yung pinaka-teko. But parang ang laki nang na-miss out ko dun sa bonding ng after shift sa radio. Like yung
Oh yeah.
mga gagawa ng mock show sila Janice at si Mark.
Yeah,
Tapos
yeah,
parang
yeah.
sila Rika. Tapos parang ako,
Yeah.
saya naman nila dun. Kasi
Yeah.
iba yung pag nandun ka na sa loob and then may DJ sa radio booth, ganyan.
Oh
Thank
wow,
you.
we had a good console. And there was a time kasi parang sobrang advanced ng console doon
Oh, talaga?
sa KZ. Yeah, I
Ah,
mean sobrang nakakatawa kasi nag-upgrade kami ng console recently. Well, unfortunate because Star City happened.
yeah.
So naapektuhan. Pero nung pagpasok ko pa lang sa station nung bago pa ako, sabi ko, shucks, mas maganda pa yung console ng KZ. Well, eventually, we upgraded, of course, which is great.
Oo.
Pero yun nga, parang sabi ko, grabe, KZ had just, they had so much good equipment. As in, hindi talaga biro, di ba? Sa TV din
Oo
naman,
nga, oo nga.
grabe equipment sa TV eh. Yeah.
So grabe nga pala yung investment. As in talagang kung radio station siya, I mean, the equipments really are top of the line for radio.
Yeah, top of the line talaga. Oo. Mm-mm.
Okay. Thank you. Una, thank you. Na sobrang na-appreciate ko yun. And siguro ito na yung pinaka radio-ish gig ko, the
Yeah.
podcast. Yeah.
Kaya nga, it's good that you have a podcast, so that people could listen to you more. Your voice is not only good, you're also smart. I
This
like
guy?
talking to you. No. I mean, I may not be the friendliest person in KZ, but like I appreciate like good people. So you're one of those good people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still remember we bonded sa National Bookstore.
Oh
Remember
yeah,
that
we
one?
did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tagal ko din doon. Hindi ko rin alam kung ba't ako nilagay doon. Para feeling ko yung soul ko nakain ng konti. Pero it was a good experience. Just because I guess we were young then. Kahit papaano. Parang like, medyo mas bata pa yung mga kasama natin eh. But I was also a lost soul. I believe like a lot of us were lost souls. So it was a good experience din naman.
Yeah.
Kaya lang parang being with books every day surrounding you, ganyan. Sobrang break na yun kapag, alam mo, may mga bumibisita. Tapos when we're hanging out, it was fun.
It was fun, yeah. After you graduated college, did you land a job with the course you graduated from, or I forgot na this part of the kwento dati. Alam ko na pinag-usapan natin sa NBS but just refresh what happened after college. And then was it Kidzania na ba agad?
Yeah, before I graduated, I already had work. Kaya parang hindi ko talaga naramdaman yung graduation blues. Alam mo yan, yung parang when you wake up in the morning, parang, what am I gonna do now? Hindi ako nagkaroon ng gano'n kasi parang, yun nga, while I was studying, I was already employed by the radio station. But it wasn't easy na rin. Kasi parang I started nga 16, I trained. Tapos parang they felt na I wasn't ready. But then I had to push. Kasi nung time na yun, BS Bio pa yung course ko.
Wow!
Gulo ko.
Grabe
Kasi
yung
initially,
science.
initially like I wanted to be a doctor. Alam mo talaga yun. Tapos sabi ko, hindi ko kaya yung Math 14. Math 14 pa lang sinusukuan ko na. Para I just need to leave. Ganyan.
Sorry, what's Math 14?
Math 14? Ano ka ba Math 14? Hindi ko alam eh. Basta 11 is algebra.
Okay.
14 is like basta advanced, whatever that is.
Okay.
Hindi. Stat is required pa rin eh. Hindi ko naiwasan yung stat kasi yun na nga kasi I was thinking if I would go to com, BA-com or yun nga social science. And I eventually chose Soc-Sci kasi shucks, baka sabihin ng yabang ko. Pero kasi nasa radyo na ako eh. Alam mo, nasa radyo na ako ng time na yun para I was training and I knew that I would get in because I was persistent, nag-Soc-Sci ako kasi para I felt like I wanted to experience Baguio more. I want to get to know ethno-linguistic groups, alam mo yun. But when I was studying, I never felt that that would be a career of mine. If anything, parang naisip ko it would supplement my knowledge once I, become a person in mass media, ganyan. So eventually, ayun na nga, parang ano ba nangyari? So yun nga, nag-social anthropology ako and then third year ata, na-hire na kasi ako noon eh. So I was doing
Oh.
part-time work ng weekends. I was already doing part-time work. Tapos hindi ko alam for some reason ba't ako pinagkatiwalaan ng batch na maging EIC. So I was also doing the yearbook. So
Okay.
sobrang hindi ko ang dami talaga nangyayari nun. Parang hindi ko na naisip na mag-apply pa for a job na magagamit ko talaga
Yeah.
yung social anthropology.
Oo.
Although eto na. So, I was employed, 'di ba, doon. Tapos parang I felt I needed to move. Like, after almost 2 years
Mhm.
after graduation. So, 2015, ganyan. Parang sabi ko, oh, saan ka na pupunta? Because, the money you're making here is not really enough. I wasn't proud of it because, I was still under my parents' wings. Uh, if feeling ko yung graduation gift lang talaga nila sa akin was they continue to support me, just paying
Mhm.
my and there, I was able to let go of Baguio. Alam mo yun, hindi ako maka-move on. I'm hearing a lot of people din sa LB na ganyan eh, 'di ba? Na parang, yeah, I mean, ako hindi nga ako nag-extend.
Mhm.
Technically, nag-shift ako, hindi ako nag-extend. But my heart just never left, or it was difficult for me to leave the place.
Mm.
It was a home for me. And I
Mhm.
could have stayed there if there were opportunities that would allow me to live and
Mm.
survive. I would have stayed. So
Mhm.
eventually I left, and it was heartbreaking. I thought it's gonna be easy to apply here in Manila because I have years of experience. I was a young DJ. I felt like I can do this. And then, well, I was rejected by all stations I've applied to. Like literally, like all stations, they rejected me, and so I was left with applying for an NGO. Tapos
Mhm.
ito na, dito na yun eh. Parang dito ko na in-explore na baka nga magkaroon ako ng career with my course. So nag-exam ako for civil service, nakapasa naman, and then I started
Mhm.
applying sa government, sa DILG, kung saan-saan. Hindi pa rin, it just felt wrong. Alam mo, parang hindi ko talaga gusto na nandun ako. So I ended up like teaching English to
Mhm.
Japanese students
Mhm.
online
Mhm.
habang hinahanap ko pa yung sarili ko. And after that, that's when Kidzania
Okay.
came.
Aha, aha.
And okay, haba ng kwento ko.
Ang ganda
So, tingnan
nun.
mo ang layo.
Grabe
Yeah,
yung
yeah, yeah.
journey, pre.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was.
You always, you knew in your heart that you always wanted to go back to radio.
Yeah, yeah. I think lalo na ng time na yun, sobra yung heart ko for it. But it was difficult kasi alam mo na yung napamahal ka na rin dun sa team. And it was
Mhm.
an honor for me to work with you guys na sobrang talented. Alam mo yun, sobra talaga yung creativity. I've, parang I don't think meron nung time na yon na ganong team na pwede pa ako mapuntahan. So parang I wanted to hold on also. But then, whenever you see the kids and they're exploring, they're reaching for their dreams. Diba? That
Yeah,
we
yeah.
are, in a way, we are the bridges to their dreams. You somehow think na parang, and paano naman ako? Like, alam mo, parang naisip ko, like, they're kids and it's good, they're reaching for their dreams now, but kailan yung akin? Kailan
Oo.
pa? So, like, when we were in Kidzania, I heard about this opening sa radio. Parang they were looking for a writer, ganyan. So, I did apply sa writing position, parang writing job dun sa isang FM station. Na, yun, I was there, I applied. Tapos parang they wanted to get me. Pero ang layo ng sweldo. I mean, we were
Oo.
doing okay, ah. Alam mo,
Yeah,
sa
I mean,
Kidzania, okay
wala
naman yung
talagang
sweldo eh,
tatapat
di
sa
ba? You know?
benefits at sa sweldo ng Kidzania. Sobrang
For what we
hirap
were correct.
makipag-bargain.
It's
Yeah.
true. It's true. So I was there, and then sabi ko, shucks, ang layo. Parang, tapos hindi ko alam kung matutuwa ako sa sweldo kasi gusto ko lang naman pumasok doon as a writer kasi eventually I want you to notice me para
Mhm.
maging DJ ako. Alam mo yun,
Mm.
parang I'll work my way again.
Mm.
And what happened was, sumuli pa ako sa FM. So I applied, pero sumuli pa ako sa FM. And they wanted to record. They wanted me to record. So I did. Tapos yun, parang napansin lang din naman ako, yung isang mentor ko na naging mentor ko siya. Imagine,
Mm.
yung pride and ego mo talaga mawawala because you felt like, oh, I have experience. I
Yeah.
can't be a trainee. I can't be a student PJ. I'm good. Like I know I'm
Yeah.
good. Yeah. But then wala eh. So I was there for a good imagine I left KZ because I wanted to push for it.
Mhm.
But then I was there for 6, 7 months. and I wasn't getting paid. Umabot pa ata ng almost a year. But then, you just I just started to feel like maybe this is really not for me. I mean, maybe it's really time for me to move forward. Ganyan.
Mm.
But then I didn't know that my mentor at the time, because he believed in me really, he sent my resume to to where I'm right now, to Easy Rock, and the rest is history. You know, so
So that
yeah, looking back, it was
so
nice.
that parang student jock wasn't easy. What easy wasn't easy rock.
Nope. I think I
Okay.
can mention here. It was home radio, and at the time,
Ah,
the station's market was millennials, the millennial sound,
oo.
and so it was just fitting for me. But then the universe and the
Oo
gods
nga.
and God have other plans.
Grabe
Yeah.
yung journey. I mean, but looking back at your journey, it's been really a roller coaster, and you just really bet on yourself, no? Which is
Yeah.
something na parang sa setup dito sa Philippines, if wala kang ipon and
Yeah, there's just so much support din kasi. Yun lang
mhm,
naisip ko dito from my parents, which I'm very, very happy about.
mhm.
Again, the goal was to not depend on them anymore.
Yeah.
And like now I'm very happy that for, a good number of years, but for a few years, I've been totally independent.
Mm.
Don't get me wrong, I still live paycheck to paycheck. Because every time naman parang, but luckily, I just, there's just too much, ano ba, what's the word? Fulfillment.
Mhm.
Being able to live on yourself, being able to, take good care of yourself.
Mhm.
I'm happy that I'm able to do that now. Because before, I never thought that I could do it. When I was starting, diba, with KZ, I
Mhm.
had the roommates, I had four.
Mhm.
And as an introverted person, it was just difficult for me to do that. Alam mo
Mhm.
yun, parang ang dami ring kailangan na adjustments. So I know that eventually I would have to live on my own, and that's
Mhm.
what I'm doing now. But like as you said, how did I survive it? Yung time na yon, yung parang almost 7 months akong walang
Yeah, yeah.
sweldo. Yeah, may mga gig on the side. Luckily, I was grateful kahit yung mga paunti-unting hosting gigs.
Mm.
Ayan. And that's what I still do now. It's something I never imagined doing kasi medyo hindi ko alam kung weird. Mahiyain pa rin ako talaga. But I had to overcome it kasi if
Oo.
you are a radio DJ, parang it's expected for you to be,
A host also.
an events host. Yeah, so
Oo.
you just gotta push yourself. And then I realized, oh, I actually like hosting events, and that's why people are booking me, because I just feel like it's not just about the money. Of course, it's almost about the money. Most of it is
Oo,
about the money, right?
wag na tayong
Oo, hindi ako plastic
wag na
dito.
tayong
Gusto
plastikan.
ko yung kita. Oo, gusto ko yung kita. Pero I genuinely enjoy hosting events, especially weddings
Mm.
and corporate events sakto lang, but weddings talaga, mga birthdays, kaya I really enjoy
Mm.
like celebrating with people, ganyan. So I was able to survive because of that. And now, because I'm in a stable radio station, I get to have projects. If I rely on my basic salary, of course, it's still going to be a struggle.
Mhm.
But having events, ngayon, buti there's Zoom, there are online events that I do. I have some, I do, some school talks, ganyan. Or
Mm.
like, I get invited to have talks. And kahit pa paano, di ba, yung mga honorarium or
Yeah,
yung mga
yeah.
food lang, you get by with those. And I'm grateful for that. Um, I can't say that it's going to be easy because it really wasn't.
Yeah.
I I acknowledge my privilege because I know that if I run out of stuff, my parents will be there. But
Mhm.
that's just not the case for everybody,
Yeah. Yeah.
Kaya hindi ako makapagsalita ng ganun eh. Kasi naiintindihan ko kung bakit hindi ka makapag-jump the gun. Alam mo yon, a lot of people, they want to pursue their dreams and hindi lang nila magawa kasi nga there are practical things that they need
Yeah.
to. Sige, baka maybe we can touch on that later.
Ah.
Kasi I'm sure you have a lot to say also. But
Ano?
like you, like ikaw, doing this, this is a passion project, right? And you've always loved dancing. Pre-pandemic, I saw some of your videos. Di ba na parang pinupush mo pa rin yung pagsasayaw.
Mm.
And were you earning from that? I mean, how were you living at the time?
Well, that time, like I super agree with what you said. I mean, wait, nawala yung video ko. I mean, I'm also blessed that my parents are actually supporting me hanggang ngayon kasi
Yeah.
I'm living at our house. Um,
Yeah.
but before, when I was in KZ and with after KZ, I was also living on my own.
Yeah.
And then the dances were like those were actually my side hustles, since like what you said, um it's hindi rin enough yung nakukuhang pay.
Yeah. But you were
Espe-
earning. You were
yeah, yeah,
earning
yeah.
naman pala.
I was earning, yeah. There were gigs na may bayad, of course, pag may mga events. And then, of course,
Yeah.
just to, after a very stressful day, the trainings and dance was something that I really look forward to, just to distress. May mga times na rin na it's been really hard to dance kasi ang traffic sa Manila and stuff. But that really didn't
Yeah.
matter. But there was a time na parang I didn't push then with dance as much because I felt na I have to focus on my career.
Right.
That time parang nile-let go ko na yung feeling na sige, baka hindi na din talaga ako maging professional dancer, or hindi hindi ko na siya magawa na ito yung magiging bread and butter ko, yung dance. So parang yun yung naging dilemma. But ako rin, ayoko na rin para that time, ayoko na rin umasa sa parents ko because
Yeah.
supposed to be graduate na ako sa kanila. So I'm helping out with them. And kung hindi rin lang siguro dahil sa pandemic, maybe I've pushed through na rin with career and with my life. But I'm just blessed that nandito ako sa comforts ng bahay namin.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I gets ko parang the privilege
Yeah.
actually yung i-try ko lang magsayaw after work na
Mm-mm.
hindi ako pinipigilan ng parents ko. Parang hindi na nila ako, tama mo na yan, tama na magsayaw kasi parang tapos na yung high school, tapos na yung college, ganyan. But I think they see na this could
Yeah.
also be something that I can earn from, but at the same time they know the stress of the whole work situation. So
Yeah.
yun.
Yeah. And this is probably something that we share. That's something in common, between the two of us, which is great. Our parents are just supportive.
Mhm.
Feeling ko ikaw din yung tipo na you didn't need to explain. Like, are your parents prescriptive na parang, nung college dapat ito ka, or para ito yung mga courses na kukunin mo? Were they ever like that?
No naman. Ngayon na
Yeah.
lang parang pagka i-explore mo yung mga anak mo, i-explore mo kung gusto nila mag-engineer, maging doktor.
Yeah.
Kasi iba yung
I see.
kasi may moms in the US, tapos parang of course yung mga jobs na nandun is skilled, mga hinahanap na mga, if gusto
Yeah.
mo mag-migrate, skilled worker ka dapat. So
Yeah.
ganun na yung conversation namin ngayon. Parang hindi na sa akin kasi parang tapos na ako
Sa mga apo.
So kunwari,
Yeah.
kung magkaanak ako, parang consider mo na i-push sila to mag-engineer, ganyan, architect or doctor, para alam mo yun, may sense of stability, yung comfort nung job pagka pero sa amin magkakapatid parang hindi naman kami na push doon. Although baka
Yeah.
hindi rin lang namin talaga din ako kasi parang engineer ata yung isa kong course na kinuha sa parang ECE. But sabi ko parang
Yeah.
sobrang math heavy naman ito. So baka hindi rin ako mag-engineer. Kaya nilipat akong com arts. Yan. Yung sister
com arts ka pala. Okay.
Yung sister ko na yung parang pinaka-skilled course.
Yeah.
Teaching kasi siya, teacher siya. So nag-board siya, ganyan, nairaos niya yun. So ayan. Tapos yung brother ko, broadcasting. So parang kami yung medyo same.
And your brother is working now?
Pa lang, fourth year college.
College. And that's something that I'm grateful for it. Kasi in a way, like my parents didn't do that to me, and I have
Mm.
no plans of doing it if when I have a family,
Mm.
because I you know ang dami ko kasing friends din na some they have regrets, and some of them they blame their parents,
Mm.
and I can't invalidate them na parang that's unfair, like don't
Mm.
do that, right?
Mm.
Pero kasi you really have to decide for yourself, eh.
Mm.
That's the only way. Never akong nakarinig kay papa malalo na parang ito yung course na kunin mo, whatever. I remember parang meron pa nga akong parang coming out dinner pa yun, nakakatawa kasi I shifted from bio to Sockside. Tapos parang, bakit? Ba't may pa-dinner ganyan sa labas? So parang, because gusto ko lang magpaalam na I'm planning to shift. And you know what? He's just like, bahala ka. I mean, kung ano yung gusto mo.
Yeah.
And it was just very, very good to feel.
Yeah.
Pero nung sabi ko sa'yo, like after college, nakarinig ako sa papa ko ng, okay na yun, siguro naman naka 1 year na I was in radio before, but I
Yeah.
wasn't earning. Well, I was earning, but it wasn't enough. Parang, okay na yan, nagawa mo naman na yung hobby mo. Dun ako na parang, shocks, he still sees it as a hobby. And it's not. I felt like I could have a career with this.
Mhm.
And so, when I came here, in Manila, nasa Bulacan pa ako nun, laro lang ako ng laro, PlayStation 2 pa nga yun, eh. I mean, may mga PS3 na yun sila, pero ako PS2 pa rin. Tapos I just felt stuck. And sabi niya, imbes na naglalaro ka, parang yun lang yung dalawang beses ko narinig sa kanya. Imbes na
Yeah.
naglalaro ka, why don't you find like something?
Mm.
Tapos, I'm just like looking back na, okay, kasi ngayon, alam mo yung you're in your dream job, one of your dream jobs, I've always wanted to be in working for the radio industry. But sometimes I feel like I have to do other things. Like I can do so much more than this.
Mhm. Mm.
Pero in hindsight, like I've proven myself and siguro people around me so much already. And I owe it to my parents na they didn't pressure me for anything. Like sobrang konting-konting push lang. Siguro
Mm.
yung fact lang na parang I want to prove you wrong. I want to prove that I could actually survive
Mm.
if I work here in the radio industry,
Mm.
that I could pay my own rent, I could, shoulder all my bills, that I could take good care of myself just
Mm.
by being talkative on radio. I mean,
Oo.
I just, because that's what I do, right? And yun yung gusto kong sabihin. Kasi if there are, kids who might listen to this podcast, or even not kids, people our age, who are still so burnt out because they're at the job that they don't like or whatever. If your parents aren't as supportive, if you think that you would get cut off, mag-ipon ng sobra, and then just go and jump right in. Because it's just so difficult to live in regret.
Yeah.
I would, alam mo, parang ngayon, kung hindi ko to pinush, so, tas nagka-pandemic, sobrang lungkot ko talaga siguro. Because I'm sure I'd be at a job that I hate. I don't have the perfect job. There are times when I feel like, ano ba to? Ito na naman. I'm just tired. I'm tired of being happy all the time, or like appearing to be knowledgeable about things, even if I'm not. But it's not something that I hate. I found my purpose in it. Sometimes I feel like I'm not as useful. Kasi parang, hindi man ako doktor, hindi ako, alam mo, parang, ano bang ginagawa
Yeah.
ng DJ, di ba? What do you do?
Oo.
But like, whenever I get messages like, you don't know how much you like inspire me, or like, I'm feeling down today, and then I heard your voice, and it was just, it was uplifting.
Yeah.
When you get these messages, it makes you feel na parang, yeah, I'm, in the right track. I'm on the right
Yeah.
track. It's good that I followed my heart. Because if I followed my parents, or I mean, they didn't say anything naman niya, but like for those of you who are listening now, it's okay to listen to your parents, but don't follow their dreams. Don't follow their plan, because you really have to do
Mm.
what is right for you, what you feel is right. Para wala kang biniblame,
Yeah. Totoo.
para wala kang regret. Yeah. Wow, that was heavy. You know? Sorry.
It's okay. I mean,
That was heavy.
I totally understand. Well, for my case, they didn't like yung parents mo then, they didn't really push me to do like to do this, to do that. But they were there constantly to be a reminder. And then knowing na at the end of the day it will still be my decision. We will support you but you have to be 100% game also. So wala sa kanila yung wala na sa kanila, nasa akin na yung decision. And then I agreed naman. Pero parang yun yung point ko, parang hindi lang siya solely na ako na lang. I mean, ako dream parang it's not really my dream din talaga. It's just something that as a family, it's something that we have to do because one, it's the pandemic and everything changed. Siguro kung hindi, parang iba pa. And sobrang effed up ng government. Like, we don't know what's gonna happen next year and we don't know what's gonna happen over the next 10 years. So, I think it's more, parang it's more of my parents' dream. But I kita ko yung practicality in it eh. And parang I am at a point na parang baliktad na tayo eh. Parang I'm at a point now na I have to choose where it's practical na. I've done dancing. It was good, it was great, but it didn't really materialize like how I imagine it, like it to be a career talaga. Unlike yung mga people ngayon na mga friends ko na they still push dance, ganyan. They still find the passion, yung discipline to do it. But yun, nandun na ako. And then like what I've been saying for the past few days, parang I've acknowledged the fact that maybe dance is not for me anymore. That's why I'm not dancing anymore. Yeah. So that's why and parang before after KZ like dun sa BBB ako napansin mo nga I've been pushing dance din. Cause it's just like more of a stress reliever. Sobrang toxic and then but now yung passion ko I know I'm okay now with my dance. I mean, nale-let go ko na siya. And parang I mean, you know when players retire like they know when to let go na. So I think I'm that point na parang I'm slowly letting go of dance. And siguro dahil kaya rin nag-shift yung podcast ko to people na hindi na rin talaga naging hindi na lang dancer, di ba? Parang so oh my gosh, ganda nun. I mean, ngayon ko lang siya nasabi. So, yun, nag-shift na yung thinking ko. And I'm just, like what I told Donjo last week, parang dito ko na siya shinishift. Yung passion ko with dance, I just put it dito sa podcast. And fulfilling siya kasi kung gaano ko minahal yung effort na binibigay ko sa dance, it's the same as what I'm putting here. But at the same time, I know where my parents are. I know that the landscape has changed because of the pandemic. And I'm so happy na nag-workout sa'yo kasi parang that's the dream eh. Parang alam mo yun, you'll really struggle, you'll do those pocket jobs and then you'll be able to be proud na I made it, di ba? Yun. So wow.
Oh, Ramon.
Ang ganda nun, man. I mean,
I want to virtually hug you right now.
This is the National Bookstore Talks na parang for 1 hour walang tao eh. Nasa loob lang.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Solid yan. Okay.
That was really solid. And I hope like part of it you share. Like some parts of it I hope you like cut out. But the other parts you share it. Because people, it's important. Okay, if this is resuming now, like it's important that people can relate to us. Because I honestly think that it's really challenging for our generation. Okay. And I'm gonna shut down Gen X. We're Gen Y, right? We're Gen Y, diba? Gen Y tayo. When they say na parang arte lang tayo or like we're entitled and stuff. Like maybe we are entitled because we know that we want to be better. Kasi before, maybe they just accept things as they are. Maybe they were fighting for whatever they wanted. And mas easy sa kanilang mag-let go of stuff. But it's okay. Like, I mean, that we decide to push for our dreams.
Mhm.
And also the thing is, I think it's a lot more difficult to be in your 20s now than to be in your 20s before.
Yeah.
And this is coming from someone in the industry na supposedly okay na ako eh, di ba? Parang ini-imagine ko if I were a radio DJ in Manila, like in my 20s, maybe a few years ago or like decades ago, 1 or 2 decades ago, it would be so easy. You know, like I didn't have to compete with a lot of people.
Mhm. Yeah.
Now I just feel like social media is just eating me alive. Alam mo yun, na parang I wanted to be in radio kasi parang ang gulo eh, parang nandun tayo sa generation na we're transitioning, di ba?
Mhm.
From traditional, tas biglang digital, tas ngayon sobrang haywire na, like everyone's,
Mhm.
like a lot of apps are happening, and
Yeah.
parang nandun pa ako dati, nakakakinig pa talaga ako ng radyo, and yun yung nag-trigger sa akin na mapunta sa radyo, na mag-push sa radyo, kasi I just love the music. And I love the pieces of advice. I like the company of the radio DJs. But now it feels like we're shifting to a celebrity-based, you know, game.
Mhm.
And not just for us in the radio industry. Like, ako nga nafe-feel ko yung pressure eh, na parang, okay, you have to up your stats, or you gotta, you know, be more out there.
Mhm.
And ayoko nga eh. Parang gusto ko lang naman ng boses. Pero I
Oo.
feel like I have to do it because that's how I earn money, right?
Yeah.
That's how I
Yeah.
could earn money. And I'm trying to embrace that part already. I'm trying to let go of ako naman let go of the traditional sense na parang radio, dun ka lang sa radyo, sa
Radio
booth
lang,
ka lang
yeah.
confined. No, you just gotta get out, you gotta compete with other people. And I could imagine how it would be nung time na yun, nung sa kanila, nung mga Gen X. There was no social media. Ngayon, kahit na anong trabaho mo, feeling ko may pressure ka to be out there, 'di ba? To
Yeah, yeah,
always
yeah.
be online, and to always compete with a lot of people, regardless of your career of choice.
Yeah.
Alam mo yon, na parang ba't pa tayo napunta dito? Kasi yun lang, parang there's just too many things happening. We are so
Yeah.
overwhelmed with a lot of information, there's so much insecurity around.
Yeah.
You know, kahit naman alam natin na what people post online, it's just, it's one face. It's basically them showing you na parang I'm happy, like I'm
Uh,
successful, but behind closed doors, like I'm really fucking not. Like I'm sorry, like I just,
yeah, yeah.
diba, a lot of stuff are happening. It's so toxic now.
Mm.
Ewan ko, bakit ko ba nasabi yun? Kasi yun lang, ayun, in terms of career choice, it's so difficult now to be in your 20s.
Mhm.
Kasi parang torn tayo between what is practical and, what our heart wants.
Yeah. Oh, gets.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, not all of our batchmates, I mean, if they are right there with their careers and they're doing what they love at the same time, I mean, sobrang congrats. I mean,
Sobrang
buti ka
congrats
pa.
talaga, di ba?
Diba? Buti ka pa nakuha mo. And I felt,
But, yeah.
I felt late recently na parang, KZ was the job
It was the job.
it was the job.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you go there, wala ka din talagang, unless kung TL ka, hindi mo naman inuuwi yung work, ganyan.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was the job. And recently parang I was thinking, sama naman. Nag-what if kasi parang what if I stayed? What if hindi ko,
Oh,
parang
Ramon.
hindi nilunok lang yung pride ko. I stayed and then pinush ko pa konti. And then,
Yeah. Yeah.
um, baka dun ako nag-grow with my career because it was really hard to let go,
Mm.
especially when KZ nag-shutdown yung KZ last year. So
Yeah,
parang
man. Broke everyone's
it
hearts. Yeah.
even kahit 2 years na akong wala. So pero
Wala.
meron mga
Yeah.
close friends pa rin, pero parang paano, how can you do this to all of
Yeah.
these
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
people
Yeah.
na,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, pati how will you apply for your next job? I mean, how can you relate KZ your experience with KZ to most of the jobs. I mean, sobrang kudos to the KZ peeps na nakakuha ng work. But how can you explain again what you were doing with KZ to are you a
Yeah,
teacher? Are you
exactly.
in
I'm a
ops? Are
supervisor,
you with
man.
supervisor ba? Ano ginagawa mo?
It's a Z.
I lead kids with role play activities. So are you a
Yeah.
teacher? Hindi. Pero at the same time, like I'm teaching. So can you teach? Can you not? Parang ganun
Yeah,
kasi.
yeah,
So
yeah,
parang
yeah.
ayun, it's very hard and I'm not
Okay,
saying that
man.
I didn't enjoy my time with the company I was after because I really grew.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But you can't help to compare and for those na I mean like ikaw alam mo kasi yung goal mo eh na to you really wanted to be in radio and you really
Yeah,
worked hard for
yeah,
it. Siguro maybe for me I was scared because I wanted na I played it safe. So I have a stable
yeah,
job. I have a
yeah, yeah.
stable job and then I get to do what I love on the side. Get to earn a little but it's basically there's still a part of me na of course
Mm.
from may mga influencing ito na parang get a stable job, you earn, you go to the corporate ladder, ganyan, ganyan.
Yeah,
But I mean, there's no problem in that, di ba? But
yeah,
there
yeah.
are people like you who really pushed for it. And I'm just happy na we acknowledge the fact that we're grateful for our parents and then we're just blessed. And I just hope
Yes,
na everyone will be able to feel the same. Um,
true.
yun. Ayun. Sobrang ganda. I mean, sobrang layo sa I sent you the questions but sobrang layo
I don't
from where.
hindi ko na nga binasa lahat kasi sabi ko it's gonna be, whatever. It's gonna be a
Yeah,
national
yeah.
bookstore conversation. So, I,
Ayun, ayun.
yeah. And nothing is wrong with playing safe. May I just tell you.
Mm.
But you gotta know the difference talaga between what's comfortable and
Yeah. Oh.
what will make you grow. And I also had that feeling, parang I would have stayed in KZ forever. I could have stayed in Baguio forever. But at the time, I felt like I had to jump somewhere.
Yeah.
Feeling ko may good number of years talaga before you start pushing yourself again.
Mm.
Kasi at some point, 'di ba, you can get stuck and what's comfortable what comfortable is good, but in terms of career, like medyo mahirap kasing ma-stuck eh.
Mm.
And I'm scared. I was so scared to find myself being in the corporate world na lang din.
Mm.
Tapos like in a few years I'm gonna be like this and that. I wouldn't even know how I landed on how I landed the
Mm.
job.
Mm.
Paano ako naging manager dito? Why am I even here? Those are things that I don't want to experience. That's why I forced myself na I'm not gonna do that. I'm not going to the corporate world. But what's interesting now is I am actually thinking about it. Na parang bakit nga hindi mo i-explore? Kasi again, I'm becoming comfortable now. Now that I am at my dream job, like I'm very grateful for it. I'm thankful. I could be a radio DJ forever, whatever. Like I could feel that. But part of me thinks na I could do something else and I could be somewhere else. And what if it's the corporate ladder that I'm interested in
Mhm.
now?
Mm.
Parang ganun lang talaga. You really just gotta follow what your heart says. Alam ko sobrang
Yeah.
entitled nung whatever na yon. But you can just make it work, man. Just
Mm.
you could make it work. I
Yeah.
promise you could make it work. Yeah.
And I mean, ano ba? Uh, I just thought that time na pwede ko pang ipagsabay yung dance and yung corp job. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
I really thought na because there's good money coming in on weekends eh. Like if you ask
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Definitely.
And ayun, if if I mean if corp is something that you'll excel at, I mean go for
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
if naisip mo na it's in the arts, then go for it. But at the same time, you have to plan it out. Hindi lang yung basta I'm gonna go, I'm gonna leave. Screw everybody.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
parang
Yeah.
wag
Yeah.
wag ganon, wag
Yeah.
ganon. Calculated pa din.
And
Agree.
also plan, siguro if that's the case, kung mahirapan kang mag-plan out, mag-plant ka ng seeds. Kasi like looking back, feeling ko marami rin namang natulong sa akin yung mga ibang naging trabaho ko na hindi related sa radyo.
Mm.
I was also, alam mo, before KZ, I was an activity facilitator also. Like I did,
Cool.
I trained some managers in Balasin. It
Mm.
was a one-time gig, it was a good experience. But I felt like, again, it helped me land a job sa KZ.
Tama.
Tapos kahit na ang first paycheck ko, 100 pesos. Alam mo, nung time na yun, parang dun sa radio station sa Baguio, I felt, this was it. I'm happy to do this. Tapos ngayon, di ba, I started streaming na nga.
Mm.
Like, I don't have money yet. Honestly, it scares me. I've been scared for a long time. Parang, eto nga yun, sabi ko, baka ito yung isa sa mga gusto kong gawin, tapos natatakot akong gawin kasi ayoko matuto or natatakot akong mag-invest ng
Mm.
money or whatever. But I'm doing it now. And people are sending stars. Hindi ko alam kung kailan ko mamonetize yun. But it feels like I'm planting the seeds now because this is just really something I want to do.
Yeah.
Maybe people will not embrace me. Maybe they will think na parang, may video game ba yan? Napaka-feeling naman yan. Or parang, napaka-annoying naman yan. But you know what? I'm doing it honestly for myself. I
Yeah.
know it's like it might be very selfish because it's not a usual career track for people.
Yeah.
But we've seen some people do it. And I'm thinking like if other people could do it, kaya ko din to. Alam mo yun? I could do this. I could do this. And that's why I started. I had so many plans, Ramon. But then when you just start something, when you plant your seeds nga, minsan mag-shift kasi yung plans na yun na parang as you go along, parang, uy, parang okay pala dito sa path na to, parang kailangan ganito, ganyan.
Yeah.
And if you're a bit lost right now, just try something. Try
True.
something. Yeah, you're responsible for that at least.
Like for me, I've been with operations for the longest time. BPO and then KZ and then BPO-ish type din yung job ko last year. And then when the pandemic hit, I was also planning to resign na rin that from my previous last corporate job. And then I really wanted to align na din with marketing or at least com arts related. So nag-show academy ako after shift, parang nag-online nag-aaral ako online. Just, alam mo yun, like what you said, plant lang ng seed. Hindi naman necessarily na kailangan ko na umalis that time. And then that started, and then when the pandemic hit, and then my dad came up with me na we'll do a business, you do all the social media and the marketing. So I started learning sa Google, and then merong Facebook certificates, yung mga that I will see. And it really just helped boost my confidence. At the same time, when it was time for me that I realized na I need or I'm ready for the corporate job again, and that helped me. Even though kung hindi nag-pandemic at nasa BP pa din ako, like I was studying, I know that I really wanted to shift and be where I see myself na kung di man sa agency, like nasa marketing department na ako, like doing other stuff. Like you're right, hindi mo kailangan talaga umalis agad, like small trinkets lang. And then actually this podcast is something na I'm banking on to help me communicate, build rapport, ganyan, to the eventual I can't say it, but eventual thing na hopefully that will happen next year. And I just hope that like what I said, even though that you are not passionate about the things, about anything anymore, if it's just with your current day job. I mean, if you find something, this is from Carlo Valero from LSDC, that he said to the podcast also, na if you have something like na feel mo lang na mag-draw, if you can draw, and if na inspire ka mag-draw, then grab onto that feeling and just try to draw. And then you'll find that parang, na-inspire ako mag-draw, and then nag-drawing ka. Like for a time I naging interested ako with flat designs. Like I was able to do a 1-hour course sa Udemy, and then I did for like 5 days. Nagde-design lang ako, like I look for 5 objects and then I design it, and then yun. I mean, you just have to channel that energy somewhere, and then it doesn't really have to be money at first.
Yeah.
Money should be
Yeah.
the last thing na, I mean,
Mukhang pera kasi ako eh, kaya
and I mean,
money first eh.
I get it. I mean, for this situation, like for me, hindi ko kailangan hindi ko kailangan mag-earn because I'm here at the house.
Yeah,
Sobrang blessed
gets.
to be here. But for your case, that 1 year na, 'di ba? That one
Yeah.
year na you were a junior jock, parang ang hirap noon.
Yeah.
Parang
Super.
you're just building on your passion. You're banking on that feeling na after nito, definitely magiging okay ako. But kung paano ako mag-survive, hindi ko pa alam. Pero go, di ba?
Yeah, I was just betting everything there na parang and it's like looking back talaga sobrang struggle doon kasi parang I was really on the verge of like I cried. I remember I cried sa mama ko. Lagi ako umiyak sa kanya ng time na yun kasi I was so confused. I also applied sa CNN. But then I felt like, shocks, hindi ako pang TV. I mean, ayoko muna mag-news kasi parang alam kong heavy yon and I know how opinionated I am. Baka mabaril na lang ako anytime soon. So like, it's not for me. Like, I really wanted, parang yung wala akong plan B. I'm just lucky that things, just they just
Planned.
aligned. And like right
Align
now,
ba?
yeah, the pandemic hit us so hard as well. It was so difficult. Also, alam mo, parang I was with my parents nung start ng pandemic, pero binabayaran ko pa rin yung unit kasi hindi ko siya ma-let go. Kasi parang umaasa ako na after a few months, okay pa rin. But it's almost 2 years. Alam mo yun? Na parang we're like this. Diba? You could
Yeah,
always
oo.
light it up. Lagi ko sinasabi sa mga tao kasi like whenever they ask for my portfolio or whatever, like I've been on the radio industry for like more than 10 years. But of course that's a fucking lie. Like I know in myself that's a lie because there were many in-betweens. So like
Yeah.
I auditioned in 2009 and it didn't get me. I was hired 2012 and then I was there for a good like 2 years. So 2014 and then I had to leave. There's Casey. There's a lot of stuff in between. There's the junior jock thing, like a student DJ thing, and then it was cut for a while, and then that's when I found this. It's a stable job. Now I'm doing radio work. I'm very happy and thankful to Easy Rock and to Manila Broadcasting Company. Uh, but there were many in betweens. It wasn't linear.
Mm-mm.
So like you might have cut it and you might have no intentions of sharing it. But like my heart really was pounding in a way kanina when you were sharing it. Because I know how difficult it was for you. Like maybe in the past couple of days, you've been thinking about it so much. And it's difficult to let go of something you just can't
Oh,
because
yeah.
it's in your heart. And
Yeah, yeah.
it's not because it's not like a relationship, eh, di ba? If it's a relationship, tayo sa relationship. If it's a relationship, like if the other person doesn't want to be in the relationship anymore, well, you gotta find a way to respect that. Because even if you do, if the other person doesn't want it, there's nothing you can do about it, just to improve yourself.
Yeah.
But with our career kasi, with your passion, you're passionate about dancing, or me with, broadcasting, wala namang consent eh. Hindi naman natin kailangan ng consent nung isang bagay, di ba? We're on our own. So I hope that you don't fully let go of it. It's more of like, who knows? Di ba?
Yeah, yeah,
Parang
yeah. Of course, of
it
course.
might come back and it might be better this
Mm.
time. So yun lang.
Yeah. I totally get it. Maybe yeah, for the meantime I felt na yeah, I'm at peace. Like kaya nga there are some players na they come out of retirement, 'di ba? To do it one more time or two more times. But sobra kasing stress sa akin to
I'm
dance in a
sorry to hear
confined
that.
space. Unlike
Oh
singing
yeah.
or doing other artwork, dancing kasi takes up space, and it's either I dance at the sala, maliit lang yung sala namin, or I move stuff on our kitchen, maliit lang kitchen namin, or I go
Yeah.
outside. Tapos parang ang hirap, ang stressful niya. And ang hirap din naman sa phone ka kasi we trained before via Zoom eh. So, ang hirap naman ang liliit nila, and then nakatutok kang ganyan sa screen, you're trying
Yeah.
to ano. So
Yeah.
parang it really was a difficult time for me to just keep the fire burning. And I sobra when I see kids from LSDC auditioning for the group, and then the group just staying super active,
Yeah.
even naka-Zoom sila, like sobrang di naman sa naiingit pero sobrang na-inspire lang ako sa kanila kasi they
Mm.
really know that they love dancing, and maybe because it's college kaya and they want the whole experience. But for me, I know na parang I know to myself na if I continue dancing like this, I would hate it.
Okay. I get
Oo.
you. I get you.
So parang
So yeah.
magiging bummer na siya.
Yeah, might as well attract it. Again, just like in relationships,
Yeah.
set them free. Set them free. And when you're super
Uh,
attracted to
balikan mo
them,
na lang.
again,
Yeah.
that's how it
Okay.
is.
Right. That was a very good talk. I mean,
Yeah, it was. It was.
I have like 10 questions lined up here. Isa lang first question lang yun, and then really took up the time. I mean, no worries. That was really good. Okay. Donjo asked us a question.
You did?
So
Okay.
I posted yesterday. What are your realizations during the pandemic? So that was his
Hmm.
question. Yeah.
Okay. I really realized the value of time. I realized how important to not take things for granted, time for granted. We've lost so many people because of the pandemic. Um, we've lost our drive, our passion to do whatever it is that we want to do. I also felt like I've been self-sabotaging for a long time. I've been very, and I mean, I've been very dependent like on people for validations and
Mm-hmm.
social media. I realized that I'm living off of that. Na parang yeah, people think that I am happy, I'm successful, but if I don't feel that, then that's not real.
Mm-hmm.
I realized
Yeah.
that. But more importantly talaga yung value ng time and how it's not something you take for granted. The people, like a few people, ayun din. Like you don't need a lot of people in your life. I realized that like during the pandemic, I was lucky to be surrounded by someone. It wasn't, hindi na, but you know, you really felt the love and the care of like a few people in your life, and
Mm-hmm.
that's something that you need to cherish. Career wise, you gotta be creative. You gotta really be resourceful now. Um, sobrang nangalahati yung lahat. I'm sure hindi lang yung company namin, daming companies, 'di ba, nabawasan yung sweldo.
Mm-hmm.
And more importantly sa akin, what pays the other bills are my events, my rackets, and lahat ng bookings ko, promise last year talagang they all went away. So
Mm-hmm.
it was difficult, and I thought parang I've been taking a lot of things for granted. I was buying stuff that I don't need, especially with online shopping. Parang kung ano na lang, parang go na. Lalo na pre-pandemic. Hindi pa naman, ngayon ng pandemic kasi parang lahat nag-online shop. Pero parang
Mm-hmm.
before nun, ano na rin ako waldas ako ng pera. Because you always thought that something will come until wala, diba? So, yung like straightening your finances and just no matter how cliche this sounds, like lastly, showing a little bit of respect and love for yourself. Uh, just knowing what you should be doing
Mm-hmm.
and actually doing it. Again, self-sabotage. I felt like I've always known what I needed to do or what I wanted to do, but I never acted. I never really decided. My body didn't decide to do something about it. And I ended up hurting myself, my relationships. I felt like I was stuck in my career as well. So yun, parang recently I'm just trying to build the good habits. The
Mm-hmm.
bad habits, they're very difficult to change. I realize especially ngayong pandemic na kapag lalo stuck ka sa bahay, lalong reinforce 'yon. 'Di
Mm-hmm.
ba? Yung para mag-Netflix ka all day o kaya tumunga
Yeah.
ka na araw-araw. It's so tempting, but also you can choose, you can choose to do other things. Like, yeah. Yun. Yeah, those are some things. Heidi.
For me, I think I just realized my family has been there with me all along,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
and
Nice.
for the longest time I have this parang independent feeling na since
Mm-mm.
since high school and college, I've been away from my family because of school, and then after college,
Yeah.
straight to work in Manila, and then I didn't really realize now they were here, and then when things because of the pandemic happened, na parang
Yeah.
supposed to be dapat hindi na eh, 'di ba? Parang um for the longest time you're away, and then dapat nga hindi ka na
Kaya na.
umuwi ka na dito, yeah. But
Oo.
but they didn't say that, but parang for me coming here and then staying here for the longest time since high school, parang it was a lot of relearning just to be here, but at the same time very very appreciative, and I realized na uh I should have let them in more in my life the past few years. Yeah.
Of course.
That's why it's been a learning experience. Any final thoughts? I guess we'll end here. I mean,
Yeah, we have so much to talk about still, but who knows? In season 5 or 6, laban ulit. And I'd be happy to hear how you've grown at the time now.
of course. And I'm very, very thankful, DJ Nick, for agreeing here. Uh, I I mean I know at some point we'll be able to talk yung KZ and stuff, but I didn't
Yeah.
imagine that it will be this deep. And I just hope you I just hope people listen. I'm not iniisip ko siya kanina, shucks, paano ko siya lalagyan, paano ko aayusin yung caption.
Yeah.
I think this is the first time I talked about family and deep feelings here in the podcast, but I guess that's just how KZ people are. I mean,
Yeah. We're
we
overly dramatic. We're drama kings and queens.
and I hope KZ people they listen and they comment,
Yeah.
because I think this will resonate with
Openness.
them.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Dom.
Thank you,
And
Ramon, for having
yeah,
me.
thank you so much. Where can they find you?
Oh yeah, of course you could check out my Facebook pages. That's at Nick of 96.3 Easy Rock on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. My show is every day, 2 p.m. till 6. I hope that you can give it a listen. 96.3 Easy Rock. And most importantly, send stars. If you can't send stars, just share the stream and like
Yeah,
my
yeah.
page at Video Game Bay. There you go. I appreciate that. Thank you guys for your support. For your support, KZ people have been so good to me. And, I could only wish and hope that everyone is doing okay during this time.
Same, 100%. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening to the podcast. I hope everyone is well. I also want to ask to please follow the podcast on Spotify and subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's Ramon Nagbisit. Connect with us, DJ Nick, and with the podcast. Leave a comment, share with us your thoughts. I'm really excited to hear what you guys on the live stream and on the comments. So please, if you're listening on Spotify, make sure to, if somehow it connects with you, we want to know your
Yeah, yeah.
story. We just want to know if nakarelate pa kayo,
Yes.
and we just
You want to know your story too.
story, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, share with us your thoughts, and this will help the podcast improve. And as always, wear your mask, guys. Keep safe. Peace.